Man,
help me!
How you get in jail again? I gotta,
you know me.
I gotta make sure that you're not getting in trouble. But speaking of
Early
trouble,
weekend,
Savage AF, we're here for you normally 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I'm comedian Shang, and that is
I am Black Pedro. That's what I am. Who
I am.
How
He is, but he's yes. And yeah, we're here for you, you know, to talk about the things that are going on in the world and to let you know that we love you. See how savage that was? Take savagery to tell you we love you, the people that
Savage AF, man. Again, 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, Monday through Friday. YouTube and Facebook Live is where you can find us. Now, if you ever miss us live, sometimes you gotta hold yourself accountable. Nobody to blame but you. That being
nobody
said,
to blame but you.
If you want redemption, if you want to clean up your life, go to our YouTube page. Okay, all our shows are archived there. You don't have to miss a beat. YouTube.com/C/SavageAFWorld. It's scrolling at the bottom of the screen. You know what it is, man. When you go to said YouTube page, take actions such as these.
Wow.
Ding.
Magic.
Yeah.
Ding.
Hit him with the subscription. Hit him with the bell, man. Stay notified.
With the bell. Say motivated. Say motivated, which is not even a word. But Savage AF. No, it's not a word. You just you made that up. It's not a word. Yeah,
motivated.
You think it is a word? Motivated. You said motivated.
Oh no, I didn't.
Is that a word?
I said stay notified.
Notified. No, I thought you said motivated.
No,
all right, well,
notified.
You know what?
With the N.
It's this goddamn hair pieces. But no, make sure that y'all check us out. Make sure you check us out on, it's right above us. It's A.F on the,
tell them where.
Tell them where
on Facebook. There you go.
Facebook itch.
A.F. Yeah, if you've been kicked off YouTube, you're a degenerate. And you have to turn to Facebook to get your entertainment drugs. Savage A.F.
Your
on
drugs
Facebook. Yeah, man.
Is that what we are? We're a drug?
I hope so. Stay hooked on us. Listen.
Yeah, someday.
YouTube, Facebook, they're jolly good platforms. I'm sure they're just a bunch of fun for the kids. But the real thing goes down where comedians' lives really hang in the balance day by day. That really goes down
day by day. Platform. Like I know two comics that didn't make it because their Instagram,
the IG numbers weren't there. The IG is what we call it. IG, Instagram, the gram.
Yes, make sure
follow at Black Pedro or I will perish. Okay, it's like Back to the Future. I'm starting to disappear from my family photos.
Pedro
at Black Pedro.
Where you going?
At comedian Shang. Follow
Make sure you
on the gram,
follow. Now that's not all. I know we ask you for a lot, and actually we don't ask you for not. In fact, I'm sick of y'all slack y'all ass people not doing the shit that we asked you for. I know we ain't at the 5-minute mark, but I'm tired of you. I'm tired of your chicanery.
We almost made it.
All right, we need these. We need these. You see my thumbs? You see these 2 thumbs? Show them, Pedro. Give us some thumbs up because it helps. Right, it helps our algorithm, and when you help our algorithm, you know what? When you help us, we help you. When you and we help you, help us. Help me, help you. Help me, help you. So make sure you give us some thumbs up. Go to the page, share the link, and that's what it's all about. And that's what it's all about.
Hokey pokey. Yeah, man.
Kevin Keith is in the building.
I see him. Who else is in the building, dog?
Maya Baker, who,
Mm-hmm.
by the way, Maya Baker is a lesbian. No,
Wow, nothing wrong with it. We support you.
nothing wrong with that. Live your life.
Zenat Lynn, we see you as well. Thank y'all for being here. No other Miranda. Why would we need more than one? Okay, come through.
We're
What
at
up,
the
though? I see
5-minute
y'all.
mark. Fuck your feelings. Facts matter.
Savage
Facts
AF,
matter. Say
Black
that to
Pedro,
Tennessee, you bitches.
Black Pedro, comedian Shang. Let's get into it, man. It's Friday. Friday. April 7th, 2023 in the
Is it
time
April
space.
7th, man?
Time space continuum
Does the year
continues.
seem like it's going fast for you?
It's moving. It's moving.
It's moving, man.
You know what it is, y'all.
98 this fall.
There you go, man. That's an accomplishment. Savage AF, man. Fuck your feelings. We're gonna end today with a Shangry. Before we get into that, we'll have a Black Pedro pop in for today. I've got a new state for us to all hate and boycott. I'm sure you know which one it is.
Well,
we'll talk about it.
I think we know. I think so.
Before we get into
I know,
that,
Maya. I was messing with you, Maya. Settle down.
Before we get into that pop in today, you know your boy Uncle Thomas be tripping. We're gonna talk about you, everybody's favorite Supreme Court justice. But before we get into that, April.
Wait a minute,
7th,
who you be talking about? What you mean? Who you be talking about?
It is April 7th,
right.
2023. Once again, it's a Friday, y'all, and we'll start off with some darkness.
We gotta talk about this.
Darkness.
Are we starting off with that?
Yeah, man. Say his name.
And then we got this. We got to add one.
Say his name, Dalaneo. Say his name, Dalaneo Martin, y'all. This occurred in Washington D.C. With some, I guess, National Park Police. 17-year-old young black man, black child, was sitting in a car asleep. The car was running. The car was suspected of being stolen or was somehow labeled suspicious by somebody. So the police roll up on him. And they're standing out the car having these conversations about how to approach him. They initially didn't see a gun, but yeah, he was, like I said, he was asleep behind the wheel of a running car. And at some point, you know, they kind of just jump in the car and startle the dude. They get in there from the driver's side, I think, and definitely from the back.
No, it was from the back seat.
So there's multiple cops rushed him at once. So while one cop was approaching from the while one cop was trying to get him from the driver's side, the camera angle I saw was a cop entering from the backseat passenger side. Kid panics. There's a bit of a struggle, and he takes off. Only thing is, he's got a cop now in his back seat as he's taking off, trying to run from the cops. It's hard to run from the cops when they're in the car with you. You know.
Yeah, that's difficult.
Pretty much a mission you're not going to accomplish. But the cop draws his gun and eventually shoots the child several times while he's in the car. The car crashes into a house, and the boy is dead. And of course, everybody is looking for answers. So
can I say just one comment real quick?
Yeah.
I understand there's a lot of people saying that the kids shouldn't have ran, but if you've woken up and startled, I smacked my mama when she startled me when I woke up, and I would never want to smack my mama, but she had to get these hands. It was just like, oh shit, moms, sorry, I didn't know that was you. I think that it was a combination of that. He was afraid and everything else, but to drop 7 bullets into this kid's back, what's the word I'm looking for? Pedro, help me out. Excessive. Yeah. Excessive.
I mean, just a lot of things are just not smart about these cops. I mean, I've been awakened with the tap on the window. You know, it seems like that might be a better way to do it. Also, if they seem to be worried about him driving off because the car was running, and yet they didn't use their vehicles to block him in at all. So like, they could have pulled a vehicle up
Right.
and really just blocked him in and avoided all of that.
Now,
A tap on the window seems more appropriate. I too, Shang, do not wake up well when people startle me awake. So even if the car was stolen, obviously that's wrong and shouldn't be happening.
but was it stolen though? But was it stolen?
That hasn't been confirmed yet, but I'm just allowing for it to be a possibility. Like even if it was, this doesn't seem like the proper way to approach. And I'm not even sure that the cops have the right to enter a vehicle like that, like to get inside of it with this. And that just doesn't seem like a smart thing to do. And then it's
Well,
like, how do the cops always allow this to happen? They get in the car, they jump this kid while he's asleep, and he's still able to get the car in gear and drive off. Like, I'm like, well, what are y'all doing then? Like, how are y'all not able to subdue this 17-year-old?
I think what it
without
is,
a gun?
it shows that I've been watching. Sometimes I haven't been able to sleep. I've had insomnia, and I've been fucked up in the game. But cops are incompetent as fuck. They don't know the law. It just seemed like there was a better way to do it. They obviously are always afraid of us. I agree with Maya Baker, who said they can't use the argument they were in fear of their safety if he was shot in the back.
In the back.
She said right in the back. The bottom line is cops see us as targets. I think the Public Enemy logo is appropriate, where they say, they're basically, there's so many other ways to go about that to make it a better situation, and they didn't. Tap on the window, tap on the hood, whatever way. But instead,
why didn't they just open the door and take the keys out? Znet asks. Just many ways of different
because they want to pull it.
That could have been approached differently.
I've seen it, and I'm not exaggerating, Pedro. I've seen at least 50 videos where cops on a traffic stop, on a tail light out or whatever, come with their guns drawn. They about rah-rah. They're I guess their sex life is boring, so they feel like, yeah, dude, I got to get fucking going.
Yeah, and I don't know what gets these guys off, but I believe there were some conversations about, whether they should go in the car. As the one guy was going in the back seat, I believe one of the cops said, "Don't get caught in the car." So right. I really don't have the sense that they were even allowed to enter the vehicle in that manner like that. And I believe that they had identified that they did not see a gun. Now, remarkably, surprise, surprise, sprinkle some crack on them. They seem to have found a gun afterwards, but we'll see how that holds up.
Well, we know from video footage after video footage after video footage, and I don't see what everybody in the feed says, but we know that they are absolutely corrupt. They know that when they get caught, they lie, they fucking do whatever they got to do. What's up, Lady Hazel May? To make sure that they come out smelling like roses. And even when they are caught and they're absolutely wrong and they're absolutely incompetent, they get a week's leave pay. One cop had just shot a kid and he got 3 days pay. 3 days off, and then they right back to work, or they get to go to another, work for another cop station of just, and they don't even check their shit. They don't even check the fact that you just shot a kid last week. So this is not going to stop. Cops is going to keep doing it until I think until we really do something incredibly drastic. I think we got to go. We got to go. What's the Mask in Paris? That movie, The Mask in Paris, with the mustache that smiles.
V for Vendetta, Guy Fawkes.
We're gonna have to do that. We're gonna have to do V for Vendetta, or V for Vengeance, or when or like the Chris Rock joke. I want to see more white kids. I want to see more white kids popped 7 times in the back. I want to see more white kids beat to death. I want to see more white kids, white young men, blown half their fucking face off until they get it. Until they go, oh, that is wrong. These are fucking kids, or obey the fucking law. I shouldn't get a death warrant, a death certificate over a fucking traffic stop. And it seems like with us, it's always immediate, 0 to 60 death. And there was all kind of ways they could have fucking did this, man. All kind of ways.
I really don't want to see any more kids die, but that does seem easier than going through the training that the dude in V for Vendetta went through. Like, that dude had been through some shit, and I really don't think most black people have the knife skills that he had. Plus the
I don't want to see more kids die, but doesn't it seem like that's what has to make a change? Yeah.
Well, this is the child we're talking about right now, Dalaneo Martin, 17 years old, and he's gone for life now. No matter what the circumstances, again, I think it's obvious that the police, mishandled this and went guns first. I don't even understand the mentality of shooting the person that's driving a car that you're in. You know what I mean? Like, unless you're on some James Bond, I'm purposely crashing this car off the bridge shit. Like, as the cop in the back seat, how do you shoot the dude that's driving the car? You know what I mean?
Right. That's like you're in a helicopter.
Hey man, this is my house.
Helicopter pilot.
Yeah. And it's like, anybody a pilot? Is any pilots in here?
Yeah, you shoot.
So yeah, just a lot of boneheaded police.
Never shoot the pilot. If you can't fly a plane, and never shoot the pilot, and then wonder why you died in the plane crash too. But
oh, wait a minute, Kevin Keith. I gotta correct you on this one. He says January 6th, not one gun was drawn. Oh no, sir. You're wrong about that, Kevin Keith. And you bring me back to my absolute favorite moment. My absolute favorite moment of January 6th.
Don't you get all warm and fuzzy, Pedro. Pedro's gonna get all warm and fuzzy. Here we go.
This is when this is when 2021's Man of the Year, Lieutenant Michael Boyd of the United States Capitol Police, who bravely drew his Glock and popped Ashley Babbitt in her fucking neck and sent that bitch to Cracker Ort Cemetery. And one gun was drawn, brother, and it was used righteously that day.
But I think he means when you look at all of the
relative to everything. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
They were punching the cops, sticking the cops with 4 pitchforks. Number one, where the fuck do you get a pitchfork? I didn't know that Frankenstein was still roaming around. I mean, that kind of shit. And the bottom line is the cops when it comes to us, are trigger happy. And when it comes to white kids that just ate 2 people's human heads, and you see him snacking on fingers, and they'll be like, hey, dude, put those fingers down. Those put them down. And they try to negotiate with them. I saw one video where this motherfucker had a knife. He's swinging the knife at the cop, and the cop's running around the car with his gun going, stop, don't do that, stop, instead of just dropping him. But with us, hey, Pedro had a basketball. It looked like a gun, had to shoot him. It's just, we know it's a double standard. We see that the racism is getting worse and worse and worse. The cops are worse and worse and worse, and they're not going to change it unless we make laws that make them absolutely accountable, or that immunity. We got, I think, one place just passed the law where cops don't have, where they have immunity across the board.
Immunity,
Yes.
Not automatic immunity, but yeah, whatever.
It's not automatic immunity. You know what I'm saying?
Not universal immunity.
It's unilateral immunity, or
where they can get away with whatever what the fuck they want to do, man. They can just get away.
Here you go. Thank you for the translation. By the way, that's Pedro, aka translator of what the fuck I'm trying to say. Now, I think if we pass laws where that's the case, or you do something like that, you lose your pension. You do something like that, you lose your pension. Hit them in the pockets again. Hit them in the pockets, and you lose all your pension, all your retirement goes to the family. You do some shit like that, you racist cunts out there. You do some racist cunt shit, you get your whole shit taken. Qualified immunity. That's what it is.
Qualified. There you go. That's why we keep an audience around. Thanks, guys. Maya Baker says, who steals a car and then falls asleep in it in broad daylight? Something stinks. Yeah, no matter what the no matter what the circumstances around, I think based on the results alone, I mean, that car could have killed some people in the house too. It ran into a house and shit. So,
Yeah, I saw
it just
the photo.
obviously was not the proper way to handle this arrest or however
Well,
they were approaching this young
but
man.
with us, how often do they handle it properly? I mean, really, think about it. If you look at all the
I mean,
stops, if you look at the amount of people that are in jail, they said that they're trying to always, perpetrate that we're the violent ones and we're always the ones that they're afraid of. But I just looked at a thing. It was a documentary. Because again, I've been having insomnia like a motherfucker. I watched that 64% of the violent crimes that happens in America, 64 is white people. Period. At the end. No gray area. No. Well, I mean, the circumstance. No. Violent crime is led by white people. That's number one. And the other percentage is not black people. The percentage of black people that commit crimes is 22%. The other percentage is different nationalities and different things. So if they're so afraid, why aren't they afraid of themselves?
that makes sense. There's more white people in America,
Right.
even still as a single group or block as we divide our society up. Like there's just more white people in America. That's just a fact. So yeah, numbers wise, they're more than any. They're more. There's most people on welfare are white. You know what I mean? So like, the numbers wise, they're always going to have
But
it. And when we come to law, the way it's perceived, the way it's projected, the way it's put on the news, it looks like we do all the crime. No doubt.
Right, and that's on purpose. That's on purpose with the local news stations. It's on purpose with the national news stations. So I mean, I think that the bottom line is these cops have like it's an illogical fear of us. They see our children as adults. Tamir Rice. They see us as when the one guy was walking on the side of the road. Well, he looks like a big bad hombre. He's a gorilla, and equating the black man to a gorilla, ends up shooting him, and he literally had his hands up. We have instance after instance after instance of this shit. I don't know what else we could do. And this kid was what, 17 years old, wasn't he? What was he, 17?
Yeah, 17 years old, man.
Yeah.
So Dalaneo Martin, man. Dalaneo Martin will say his name and follow that case again, but yeah, this is a bizarre one. Now, you talked about equating black people to gorillas. And I don't want to do that. But I will call our next guest a monkey ass nigga. Everybody's favorite. Everybody's
you gonna just
favorite.
Say that you ain't gonna even try to temper yourself, are you? You ain't gonna even try to pull it back a minute, okay?
It's not really what I do, man.
I'm just saying, but the fact that you talking about Uncle Cooney, okay, I just I call him George Cooney.
Everybody's favorite Supreme Court justice, Clarence Uncle Coon.
Pubic hair Thomas. Clarence sells out his own people as soon as he can. Thomas, Clarence married to John Goodman, or at least his wife is a spitting image of John Goodman.
Yeah,
and
I was trying to pull the picture of him in.
With her, she got a Madden neck. Her neck is Madden. Her whole neck is just Madden.
But here's what it is. So everybody's favorite Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas. It's recently been discovered that he has in the past
been getting paid,
and very recently. No, not that. Fuck your feelings. Facts matter. So he's not getting paid.
No.
What?
That's paid.
Well, we haven't said what it is,
and I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say. But
I'm gonna say what based on the facts that have been given now.
With Pedro.
I haven't even said anything yet.
Pedro's wrong.
So
wait a minute.
This man
Pedro's totally wrong.
This man and his NFL coach wife Madden or John Goodman, King Ralph. He's married to King Ralph. And so what's the guy's name? Harlan Crow. He is a billionaire, conservative mega donor, who it's recently been found out had been giving trips and lavish dinners and vacations, or bringing the Thomases on his yacht, flying them to Indonesia and otherworldly places for these lavish vacations, private jets, things like that. And these trips and all of this are things that are totaling up into the $500 million range, like $500,000, like $500,000 type stuff.
$500,000 range.
So here's the thing. So of course Thomas's defense is that he didn't think he had to disclose those because there had been a culture where if it wasn't somebody who was going before the bench or anything like that, they didn't have to disclose that. But that was more intended for a dinner here, a dinner there, a trip down to Boca Raton or some shit like that. But like not a shuttle to the moon, nigga, or
right. But Pedro, this is the wild shit about it. He was claiming those up to a point. He stopped in 2018. He stopped in 2018, so he knew that he had to do it. So for him to act like he didn't know he had to do it. What's up, Roger Stacker? He acted like he didn't know he had to do it. No, he knew.
He wasn't claiming everything either, though. He was claiming some things, but not
some things. But he knew he was supposed to claim everything. Number one, number two, with the fuckery with his wife. With his wife is Marjorie Taylor Greene. No, I'm sorry. His wife, Sissy Thickneck.
Jenny.
Yeah, Jenny Thickneck. She, with the fuckery that was going on with her saying that the election was rigged and putting out all that money and money finance and stuff. I think that it sounds like you said it's not payoff. It sounds like payoffs. It sounds like if I give you Pedro a trip to Sri Lanka, first class, private jet, you get off the plane, 98 hoes systematically suck your dick for 1 second. So it's like, mwah, 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 mwah. And then envy food you want, and then buy you all the clothes you want, whatever. Even though I haven't actually given you the money, that's a fucking payoff. It's a payoff.
I mean, you would consider it more of a bribe. You know what I mean? Like there's no cash exchange as far as
not cash, but you know what I mean by payoff, nigga. You know what I mean by payoff.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Maya says,
and the bribery's payoff to me.
Full disclosure: all politicians receive similar gifts. The issue is, of course, if he knew about the perceived conflict of interest. Well. Thomas is positing that there's no conflict of interest because this dude has not, has no issues in front of the court or hasn't had any issues in front of the court. Also, Harlan Crow says that he's never, used it to influence or tried to, apply any influence or pressure to Thomas about anything political or legal, which is, of course, what they're going to say. But the other issue, Maya, is the amounts of the gifts and the amounts of these trips and the type of yacht and planes he was on and things like that is just like above and beyond what I believe was expected for judges on the Supreme Court or any level to be receiving from friends. You know what I mean? Like that. It just doesn't look right. Even if nothing actual illegal was done, it just doesn't look right, especially at a time when the court has credibility issues and is already painted and showing itself to be this biased conservative court that is seemed to be politically bought and paid and put together over these years. So yeah, it is
okay.
A lot about the amount of these gifts and the type and the lavishness.
Well, It's a huge amount. Clarence Thomas is dirty. He's dirty not only pertaining to this. I don't give a fuck. People say, well, you know, he deserves them. No, you don't. Fuck out of here. You don't deserve no $500,000 trips and shit like that. Clarence Thomas is dirty. He's taking the bribe. He's taking the bribe. It's an indirect bribe. If you got a Republican right-wing billionaire shipping you off for trips, then there's something up. Number one. Number two, you're already a corrupt motherfucker because I know that you let your wife, Jenny, double balls. That's, you know, let her influence you pertaining to stuff pertaining to you being on the Supreme Court. The fact that you were the only Supreme Court justice that didn't, you know, that gave Trump a pass, and on and on and on. These motherfuckers are corrupt, and the government's corrupt, and the world is corrupt, and the world is wrong, baby. That's my pimp.
Yeah.
At the end, yeah, because he from Detroit. That's where pimping started.
There you go. WDMA Warrior says he was just too stupid to accept it in the first place, knowing it can come back to bite him in the ass. Yeah, I mean, you would think. I mean, but you know, WDMA, that would a person would have to have like integrity and morals to come to those conclusions.
Right.
Like, oh, this might look bad. When really he was just like, we goes on a boat. Yes, sir. Or we going boating today, boating today. He was probably out on the front of the boat like, that old man river, that old man
By the way,
river.
I don't condone Pedro's racism. Okay? That was racist, what he just said. And I don't condone it.
It's never too soon to call him a coon.
Oh wow, man. Okay, he is Hambone. He's Hambone Jones. But the bottom line is he knows it. I think he knew it, and I think that the bottom line is he knows he's corrupt, and now he's caught because he did come out with a statement. It was a bullshit ass statement, but I'm hoping that right. Okay, I was wow. WDMA Warrior said like no one
wouldn't use that blackmail against him.
Exactly.
I mean, that's why these things are put in place. You know, it doesn't look right. And come on, bro. I think it was Roy Wood Jr. who made a joke on the Daily Show where he was just like you know, like, you really think they was inviting Clarence Thomas along because he's such a fucking fun guy? You know what I mean? Like, right. Clarence, you really thought they wanted to hang with your black ass? What? Because you could sing, nigga? Because the bars you be spitting?
You're eternal,
you're an influenceable
bitch resting face.
Yeah, you're a Supreme Court justice. They want influence. Of course, they let you on the boat, nigga. What is wrong with you?
Yeah, I mean, they wouldn't have let you on the boat if you was a bricklayer and like, hey, that Clarence Thomas, he's a hoot. No,
only if they needed bricks laid on the boat. Like, could you fix this fireplace to get your nigger ass off my boat?
And by the way, we're not going to even stop. Can you swim? I mean, I really do think that it's to the point where everybody fucking knows that the corruption is there in the Supreme Court. That's why the Supreme Court's approval rating is like 7. Yep. You know what I'm saying? No, the entire and also the fact that they have a right-leaning Supreme Court, and that has made their rating go down. So if the right wing are so good and so right and so righteous, why hasn't their numbers gone up? Congress is not trusted, granted. Democrats too, because the Democrats are some of the biggest pussies in the world and don't know when they get their ass kicked. They just stand there and let somebody punch them in the face over and over and over again without punching back.
Actually, Dick Durbin, the head of the chair of the Judiciary Committee, said that this requires action. So from those words, and Dick Durbin seems like one of those solid Democrats. That it seems like from his words that they will be looking into this, you know what I mean, and taking some action on it. It does seem obvious to all of us, but as we know,
absolutely,
the way the world works, though, you know, we can't just be like, he's a coon, get him. You know what I mean? Like, you got to have an investigation. Let's find some evidence, connect some dots if possible, but and find some violations. But yeah, you know, Dick Durbin chair of the Judiciary Committee in Congress, wants to take action. So, and that's part of the checks and balances system, right? Like we need all of that. So yeah, you see some foul play on the Supreme Court, Congress step in there. Let's get it. You know what I mean? Like check it out.
I agree with WDMA Warrior. He says, put that up real quick. And I think throw the whole government away and start a new one. I agree with you. And also, I think we need to update the Constitution because I think the Constitution is an outdated fucking piece of rag shit that they shouldn't even look at as viable. Because you got to think when they were talking about the Second Amendment and all that other shit, that was when motherfuckers had muskets and, and they was, and it wasn't like it doesn't apply to today. When it doesn't apply to anything today. And I think they should update the fact that Supreme Court justice can pretty much get away with murder, and they rarely get reprimanded. They rarely get impeached at all.
I mean, well, you don't see judges doing shit like this. That's kind of the other part of this Clarence Thomas thing. I mean, isn't it? We don't hear about this. What other scandals have you heard about Supreme Court justices?
What judges about Supreme Court justices about the fact that
sitting on the bench,
that I forget the name of the organization that they picked them from, where they all were anti-abortion, that they picked them from there specifically for their fucking stance. Like what the one dude that lied said he wouldn't do
none of them were anti-abortion though. They weren't anti-abortion. They were
not anti-abortion.
They recognized that Roe v. Wade was precedent. So they recognized the legal precedent.
But their agenda, the reason I say you say it wasn't anything, their agenda was set up and designed for them to get there and to overturn Roe versus Wade. And they were all there was a lot of little shifting around, a lot of little shifting shit that they did.
That's not the same as that's not the same though as like improper behavior on the bench. That
is improper behavior.
Yeah, it's not the same as
when you go against 75% of the American public that didn't want Roe versus Wade to be overturned. When you're going against the fucking will of the people, and it's obvious, and all of the statistics say that, then I see this corrupt too.
You're not going to impeach. You're not going to impeach a Supreme Court justice over a decision they made. It's going to be over something like what Clarence Thomas did. So, and that's why this stands out, because you don't see judges behaving like this. When WDMA says throw away the whole government, I'm not sure what that means. We need a lot of reform, but in one day you can't just be like, all right, there's no government, bring in a new one. This is not the way societies work and things like that. It'll turn into an Afghanistan airport where niggas will just be hanging off the wheels of planes until they fall into a mountain.
But I still feel like that the government needs to be overhauled from the standpoint of just, I was watching Bill Burr on some talk show, and there's certain shit I agree with him where he said, there's a lot of shit that we know we could fix. Like there's more money in the sickness than there is in the cure when it comes to the medical industry. When it comes to the medical industry, there's a lot of shit that they want people to stay sick because they make more money that way. And there's a lot of shit we could fix. Infrastructure, things that take precedence. A lot of times they don't do that shit. They don't do that shit because they're getting kickbacks and money and everything else. There's no fucking way that by this time, pertaining to gun laws, that they still haven't figured out that why is it in Australia there's not as many mass shootings? Why is it in London? In England and on, because they do put restrictions or background checks on motherfuckers in case they're not stable. If you've had a domestic fucking abuse on your record, maybe you shouldn't go be able to buy a fucking, an AR. But so there's shit we know we fix.
Yeah. WDMA says the states can run themselves until a new government is created. Now, okay, so
that I don't agree with.
Now you would get into a very, very scary place as far as I can see WDMA, because If you're telling me that you want to give Florida, Texas, Tennessee, which we're about to talk about, Mississippi, Arizona, these places like that to run themselves without any federal oversight, shit, y'all niggas better run from Florida, Tennessee, Mississippi, Texas.
Well, no,
Get
I
the
mean,
fuck
well,
out
fuck
of
them
there.
then. You know,
Because like somebody,
I mean,
obviously some of these state legislatures, and I'm glad you brought it up. So let's just push on to that. We're gonna keep pushing to the next topic, and I'm gonna give it to you just like this.
Hey, hey, hey. It's your boy Black Pedro popping in, hey, 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 with another poppin' to let you know what's poppin'.
Hey, it's your boy Black Pedro with another poppin' to let you know what's poppin'. Ha! So you know me, man. I'm always down to boycott something. Do me wrong, and I'm gone.
Wait a minute, Pedro. What possible place?
Yeah, man.
Do you want to boycott?
Guess what state I'm boycotting next? How'd the song go? Tennessee, Tennessee, Tennessee. So as I'm sure we've all heard by now, yesterday was a very dramatic and historic day in the Tennessee state legislature, in which
the Tennessee Three,
yeah, they're being affectionately called the Tennessee Three. But these three representatives, on the left is Justin Pearson, in the middle is Gloria Johnson, and on the right is Justin Jones. Okay.
Martin Luther King reincarnated.
A couple of weeks ago, they initiated a protest in the halls of their state legislature, in which they had a bullhorn and were interrupting a session, calling for gun control legislation. And this is on the heels of the shooting in Nashville.
The 6 people. Yeah.
At the school/church in Nashville. And because of that, the Republican supermajority body in Tennessee, in Nashville, they put these 3 seats up. They're threatened to kick them out, and yesterday was the vote. And not only was this a fascist, autocratic move by a Republican body, but it was racist as fuck, man. Because in the end of it, the 2 young Negroes, the 2 youngest Black legislators in the Tennessee state legislature, were expelled. And Gloria Johnson there in the middle, our white lady, a great ally, was spared. And she was very quick to speak about it as being a racial thing, as well as obviously the young Black men were. But I was happy for her to go ahead and say it. But yesterday we did see, just this blatant "fuck you, young Negroes, shut your mouth."
The way they talk to him.
You're gonna learn today, boy, type of thing. So when WDMA says, let the states run themselves, this is where we look at a state like Tennessee, and you're like, they're not good at that, bro. That wouldn't be a great idea.
But Tennessee, which is the home of the Klan, let's be real, is basically
the birthplace.
Basically the home of the
I believe they're headquartered in Georgia now, but they were created.
But they were, I think they were
in
Tennessee, and right.
They were founded.
They were founded in Tennessee, but they said, let's go to Georgia.
They said, let's go everywhere. They did that.
Yeah, but the thing about this is the way they treated these young men. I think that they didn't know how powerful these young men were. I watched both of them give their pushback. And the brother with the fro sounded, I literally thought, oh, this is another Martin Luther King. He had that cadence. And the other brother was basically hitting him with so much rational logic. You have a child molester that you didn't kick out this fast. You have
dude under federal investigation right now.
Right, yeah. You have all these people that out of your 75 Republicans that have things that are pending that anybody would be expelled for. But you expel us because we speak out on basically, let's make some changes pertaining to gun laws. So we already knew that it was racist. It's the motherfuckers that say it's not racist. I want to punch in they fucking piss pump. I want to just
Well,
give them a couple punches to the piss pump because
if
they're
Gloria
fucking full
Johnson,
of shit.
if Gloria Johnson had lost her seat, then you would just be like, okay, these are just fascists. But once they and she only kept her seat by 1 vote, so she, you know, by the hair on her chinny chin chin. But once, you know, she gets through, but they don't. I guess Kevin Keith is right. They do become the Tennessee 2 and not the Tennessee 3. But I mean, both the young men, both named Justin, brother Pearson and Jones, were eloquent in their speeches and in their defense. And you know, there's a level of questioning. We didn't get to see all of it live, but according to Gloria Johnson, the white woman in the room, she was like, the way they questioned them versus the way they questioned me
was different.
Very different.
Even the one brother, Justin, Justin, I'm gonna say Justin one Fro. The way he's like,
that's Pearson.
Let me ask you something. Justin Pearson. Would I'm gonna ask you, forget gun laws, forget even this. Would you like to be talked to this way? Would you like to be talked to this way? And there was so much, he was so eloquent, he was so on point, both of them were on point. I think they're gonna get reinstated. It's just too much heat. Now he's not gonna be able to work with these motherfuckers because they already showed their ass and they showed how racist they were. And in other countries and other places, and the whole country knows the fact that they were like, hey, they're a little too rowdy, they're a little too different, they're a little too this. And he did explain why they spoke up and they were using the blowhorns. The bullhorns. I'm sorry about that. The bullhorns is because they would cut their mics off. They would do stuff like cut their machine off where they could vote on stuff. They were doing this consistently. So this is not racist shit they're doing now. They were doing racist shit the whole time. And that means they're ignoring their
disenfranchisement is their game.
Yeah. Yeah. And they were ignoring the fact that these people voted these people in. These young men were voted in. They didn't just walk up and go, hey, motherfucker, give me a job. Right. No, they're representing their people. So yeah, I think that it's just another example to show how sucker ass white people are down in Tennessee in that I don't even want to call them government because they're full of shit because they go on their feelings and not the facts. So and I know sometimes I'm saying stuff to just be, controversial, but I really think this situation is so obvious and it has to get rectified. They're going to get voted back in any way it goes, Pedro, because they said once it comes up, they can run again. And if they win again, what are they going to do? Expel them again? Then it's even extra obvious.
Maya said, what did they promise her? Or more importantly, what did she promise to keep her seat? I wouldn't go casting any bad light on Gloria Johnson. Yeah, I mean, listen, she stood up with the guys in protest with them, barely kept her seat by a vote. I don't think
that she's the bad guy. Yeah, I don't think that she has some nefarious shit that's under the cape. But look what Maya Baker said. But the guy who pissed on the colleague's chin,
I had that up there. Yeah,
violence person.
All those people kept their seats. So here's the thing. So under Tennessee state law, even though these guys have been expelled, the brothers Justin have been expelled. They can still run for their seats again. So there's going to be a special election.
No win.
I'm not sure what the timeline is, but obviously, if they won once, it seems like they should be able to win again in the district. But this should also be motivation for the people in those districts to come out and support these guys. So I'm anticipating that they'll get their seats back and get back to doing the work of the people. In the meantime, I know they both said that they'll be out there with the people protesting this. And I believe even before the election comes, that Brother Justin Jones said that, they were going to pursue legal action against this. Because, again, this was, it was something that the body could do because they had a supermajority. But, just because you can do something doesn't mean you always should. So, so like we said, this is the kind of thing that you would kick somebody out of a legislative body for if they were, like Maya mentioned and we mentioned, you know, a chair pisser or an abuser or a rapist or something like that, or, you know, if you got caught, you know, embezzling money or something like that, it's not for some,
then
you
that
know,
makes sense.
violation
Yeah,
of
it makes sense.
parliamentary. It's not something for violating parliamentary procedure or some shit like that. Speaking out of turn, you don't kick somebody out and disenfranchise,
But if you know what,
thousands of voters.
these white folks, these white folks look at how Congress in Washington's rolling, because Marjorie Taylor Greene flat out was, you know, promoting violence and, you know, talking about bringing guns on the House floor and all that other shit. And that's something to be kicked out for, to be expelled. That you should be expelled for that shit. But now she running shit in, you know, with Congress. She basically got Kevin McCarthy hanging off her clitoris, which is
that's
not
a dick, Shang. When it's that long, it's a dick.
It's a dick.
It's not a clit if you can hold it with two hands.
It's not a clit. It's not a clit if you can do this with it.
If you can choke on it, it's not a
If
clit.
you can, right? If you can shake weight it, it's not a clit. But the bottom line is there's an arrogance. I was watching one of the interactions back and forth. The level of arrogance and the way they were talking to him was horrible, bro. Like, hey, Pedro, A, B, C, D. What's next? I bet you don't know. I bet you don't know what's next after D. I'm pretty sure. Look at your skin color. You probably don't know what's after D. You know, and
nuts.
That's how they were talking. It was horrible.
These nuts.
These nuts, bitch. All right. So what is
Kevin Keith knows? Kevin
Keith
is predicting what's up next. He says the Justins are going to be a problem for the status quo on the national level over the horizon. Shea Whitey done turned these brothers into rock stars. I mean, I think they both have bright futures. They already had those based on their, you know, intellect and compassion and conviction. But yeah, this does, you know, it's like you know, poking a bull or whatever. You know, these kids were already fired up, and now watch them go now.
Yeah, but and also they're not only fired up. The young people in Tennessee are backing them, and I don't mean just young black people. I mean young white people see it as, oh, that was some fuck shit. And I saw a thing on MSNBC where it's basically the white power structure majority are afraid because they see even young white people are like that's kind of fucked up what you did. And not only in Tennessee, but across the board. Because if you look at all the stuff that's rated, Pedro, like abortion rights, no, most people are like, no, we think women should have abortion rights. Right now, they just did a thing. It's literally on right now where they're basically with the abortion pill. You can't get an abortion pill from another state. You know, I mean, it's just they're doing things that make America great again. Fucking slogan where they're basically trying to take it back to when white people could just be unaccountable for anything. Not all white people. I got to stop saying that. The white people that are in a position of power,
you know, the ones you hate,
accountable for all this shit. Yes, and so that's why I think that I just think that it's what's going on. Now what I disagree with you on, I just want to say, and everybody in the feed, what I'm saying is, I think that when you say that the Clarence Thomases and the Candace Owens and stuff, a lot of them I feel like they're getting paid off to hate on us. Does that make sense what I'm saying? I feel like those trips are to continue his anti-black narrative. Candace Owens, I believe, is being paid to continue an anti-black narrative. The black people that I've seen, the pundits or talking heads that I've seen been going after both Justins, they've been going after them, saying, just shut up and sit down. You lucky to be there. You know, you lucky to be there, nigga. Who's that nigga on the nag? I'm talking about straight, you know, Django type shit. They're being paid off. And I think that they don't realize these young people, a lot of young people ain't having it, man. I really do think they're going to get, if they don't get reinstated, they're going to get reelected. And then that shit going to be in their face. And then now what they going to say? Now, what's your reason now that you going to kick me out?
Also, yeah, another caveat to that is that if they're reelected, they can't be expelled for the same action twice. So hey,
So
bullhorns down, bitch.
Yeah, but I feel like the only problem with that is if they get reelected, how are they going to work with these racist cunts? How are you going to fucking work with them? I don't know, especially the way they were talking to him. You got to see the whole thing because you can go online and see it. I was sitting there going, did that motherfucker really talk to him that way? It was like, wow. Then you go pass a bill and you get up on the floor and you just want to get attention. Well, now you got it. Now you got the attention. I'm like, really, motherfucker? Really? I just wanted to see somebody just jump over that little turnstile thing and just hack. But we can't condone violence because violence is wrong. Right? Is violence wrong?
I mean, in that setting, it's like, yeah, those young Negroes can't go attacking the old white men. Like that would not be a good.
That would be not a good.
You know, it defeats the purpose of getting elected.
They were very eloquent. You got to give them props. They
speak so well.
There's no way I would have made. You know what I mean. They could have got madder because I see people get mad. The woman from the Virgin Islands gets mad every time she's on the fucking.
Stacey Plaskett.
She says shit and was like, no, you stop talking. It's my time. I want to. You just think you can say anything. Well, you know what? How about I just come over there and give you a nice island beating?
Well, speaking of anger and getting angry, why don't you get us on up out of here?
Okay.
Get us up out of here with your own brand of anger, y'all.
Did you get the email?
Oh, I didn't get to look at that yet. Sorry.
Okay, but while you find the email and download the video and put the video in, I just wanted to let y'all know, make sure y'all follow Savage AF. If you get a chance, say you happen to have your thumbs working, thumbs up, we need those. It helps the algorithm. And you see it scrolling down there. You see it scrolling. Make sure you go to the page and click the little what is it? Show them the little.
I can't do all of that. I can't show them anything.
Okay, you're not. See, man.
Talking to it, brother. Talking to it. Okay,
you can't do it.
No, I'm doing something else. I'm trying to pull in your thing. So you gotta.
You know what? You gotta get your fat. You get faster, man.
Your transfer is not working, man. Sorry, it's not.
Yeah, it is. I sent you like 6 of them.
I didn't say you didn't send it. I said it's not working. Hold on. Let me see.
Yeah, but make sure that you follow us on the IG at Black Pedro, at Comedian Shang. Also on Facebook, SavageA.F. Make sure you do all of that.
That's what it is, y'all.
What? Boom, shit. Drop the chat box and like the show. Well, like the show. Yeah, for sure. For sure, like the show. So I didn't know if it's still not working.
Yeah, I'm trying to pull it in. Hold on.
Okay. Now, I just wanted to leave y'all for the weekend with something that was heartwarming and to make sure that you felt better about your life over the weekend. That's all I wanted to do. And that's what I was planning on doing. But I don't know if it's going to happen because Pedro's trying to download it right now. And he said he's putting it in there. So is it in there? Yeah, Pedro, you're going to make me cry. There's no crying in podcasting. You're not supposed to cry. And by the way, I'm Lindsey Graham. I need you to send $5, $1, 69 cents, whatever you can send to help Trump with his court case and his lawyer fees. Send the money to @BlackPedro and send the money to @Comedian Shang, and we will make sure Trump gets the money. I don't know why Pedro's face froze. It froze. Your face froze.
All right, we're gonna hit y'all with a little something like this.
Oh! No!
Oh shit!
I believe this is what.
We don't even need it. Yeah,
do you want me to run it?
What I want to do. Yeah, I wanted to let y'all know we're going to leave after this. This is something to warm your heart for the weekend. I found this video and I felt it was. This was also for Pedro. This was something for Pedro to show you that there is humanity in the world. So could you share it with people?
Wearing number 1 for the Los Angeles Traffic today is 9-year-old Tommy Douglas. Tommy has lived most of his life in the hospital after being born with a potato for a heart and will undergo a heart transplant surgery next weekend. He's about as big of a traffic fan as they come, so in partnership with the Grant-A-Wish Foundation, both teams have agreed to come together and have Tommy run the first play of the game. And he got the handoff, and there he goes. Made a little cutback move, and it looks like he's going to go all the way. Look at him go. Wow. This is really one of those heartwarming moments in sports where you just... Oh! Oh, my God. That is not good.
Yeah. A potato for a heart, man. That kid, he had one.
I just wanted you guys to leave with something warm that'll warm your cockles of your heart. And I thought that was, I don't know if you guys, if it moved you like it moved me. These tears are not just from sadness, but the sound it made when he hit him. It just,
that crunch, that potato crunch, them crispy fries. Lit that up.
When he said, "Oh my God," that can't be good.
That's it, man. So yeah, and that's how we got to attack life problems.
Why y'all say that was wrong? That was beautiful. The little kid is Make-A-Wish Foundation. He got to run the football. He made it at least 20 yards before he got that business. Come on, y'all.
Hey man, instead of treating the GOP like their little potato heart Timmy or whatever, we need to be that free safety, that strong safety to down. And just when it looks like they're about to break away with these victories, boom, like they potato-hearted asses up. Okay, no mercy for these weak ass GOP Make-A-Wish, as in I wish niggers would be slaves again. No, we're not gonna make them wishes happen. All right, we're gonna hit them in their potato hearts.
But Monday, it's actually right now. The judge suspended his FDA approval for the abortion pill, and the Justice Department has 1 week to appeal. So that means next week we can talk about that, because basically women, they've already overturned Roe versus Wade, but guess what's happening? You try to get an abortion anywhere else, you're not ready for a kid, even if your life is threatened. Can't do it. It's about to go down even more.
Yo. Savage AF, man. Fuck your feelings. Facts matter. That's your Shangry for today. That's your show for today. Have a good weekend, y'all. We'll be back on Monday, 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. In the meantime, y'all, in between time.
Wait. Comedy Chateau. Make sure you check out at Black Pedro for the.
I'm there tonight, 10 p.m.
10 p.m. at the
Instagram
Chateau in North Hollywood. Make sure you do that. Also, if you're in Vegas, I got 6 more shows at the Laugh Factory and the Tropicana Hotel, Tropicana Casino. 6 shows. Go to laughfactory.com and you can see where to get tickets. So stock up on Plan B, Bill, and stock up on getting tickets to come check me out live at the Laugh Factory with myself, Patrick DeGear, and Flip Schultz.
That's what it is, y'all. Savage AF, man. All right, man. We'll see you guys on Monday. Stay black if you are. Don't be black if you're not, because that's a weird thing to do. And most importantly, man, any of them, it don't matter. Even if it's keep your fingers.
Keep your thumb out your nose.
Yeah, that didn't even make sense. But keep them all out of your nose.
Yeah.